SE16, your podcast for everything Ithaca and National. It starts right now.
Hello, listeners. Thank you for tuning in to the first ever podcast, SE16, through Ithaca College Television, alongside Salty, Stephen Altieri, and Matt Rahemba. I'm Joe Narcisio. Guys, it's finally going. We are here.
We are here. Getting the podcast right out of the gate. This should be fun. I'm excited to be able to do this with you guys. It should be an interesting podcast, talking sports, talking entertainment, and, we're just ready to get things going.
Yeah, I think excited is the perfect word for it, and, I hope we're entertaining for you guys, the listeners, and let's get it started. Let's just go.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with Ithaca College Sports. Out here on the South Hill, the Ithaca women's basketball team just lost in the Elite Eight in the East Regional to Tufts University.
That's a tough team to play.
Yeah, it's by a score of 61-59. Tufts 30-1 on the year. Tufts it was a tough team to play, just like Salty put it. They went to their place. They were the fourth team in the nation, and where Tufts is in the Final Four now.
29-1 on the year. Ithaca obviously finished off their season at 26-4. But you have to be impressed with what the Bombers were able to do this year. So many contributions coming out of the gate from players like Tierney, Mary Kate Tierney, Jen Escobedo, Gina Brady. It was just a great overall team effort. And leading the way at the realm was head coach Dan Raymond. I feel like he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, he was named East Region D3 Women's Coach of the Year. So, that's always an accomplishment to be proud of.
Great job by him, but the entire team altogether did really well. And, they beat good teams. They beat Amherst the round before in the NCAA Tournament. They won the Empire. They dominated the Empire.
Speaking of Amherst, they played them earlier in the year, the first a couple games.
They lost by 22
Yeah,
points.
Lost by 22 when Amherst was number 5, and then they come back and they beat them in overtime. So it showed how much they improved throughout the season. They even were on a, what'd you say?
18-game winning streak going into the loss against Tufts. I mean, early on, they played some tough competition. They played the number 1 team in the nation early on in the year in DuPont, and then they went on to play John Carroll later in a few games later. So they started off pretty tough competition-wise, but then we saw once they got into Empire 8 play, they were dominant. They were beating teams by 30, 40 points.
That Alfred game.
Very good second-half team as well.
That Alfred game, that
team.
last game where they clinched the E8 regular season
80-35.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Victory.
I mean,
80-35
led by second team All East Region Mary Kate Tierney.
Absolutely.
They had a great
Former
season.
Division I player right there. Lucky to have her.
The
on
Catamount
the
from Vermont. Catamount from Vermont.
She's a great player, and obviously she's going to be missed by the Bombers next year.
It's going to be a tough season next year. Tierney leaving, but we said that coming into this year.
Well, it should be interesting to see what the Bombers do with recruiting-wise, see how many great players they could bring in. Obviously, Ithaca is going to be a very, very interesting place when it comes to recruiting because they're such a good team. So, obviously, it could be an interesting landing spot for players trying to come in.
The thing is also, they played everybody all season long. Coach Raymond put everyone out there. Ali Rashoudi, a freshman, got a good amount of playing time. Gina Brady, a junior, she'll be back next year, got a good amount of playing time. It wasn't just Mary Kate Tierney and Catherine Campbell leading this team. It was a full team effort. Everyone got playing time, and we should look to see all of them improve next year.
Yeah, now, while we're on this topic of NCAA tournaments.
NCAA tournament
I
basketball.
think you all know what's coming up next. The men's NCAA.
March Madness.
Yes, that is right, Rahemba.
It's a great time of the year, March Madness. I love
it.
The
Field of 68 was set just last Sunday. And what'd you guys think of the field? Like, what seating, pole positions, all that good stuff?
Overall, I feel like the NCAA selection committee, they did a fairly good job when it came to ranking teams, but obviously, I know you guys may disagree, but there are a few upsets that you guys might want to talk about here going
Yeah,
forward.
Salty, you can go with this one first.
Well, I know you guys are going to mention SMU not making the tournament.
Yeah, they should have made it over BYU, but that's a whole different story. Go Salty.
Everybody knows SMU should have made it.
But what I'd like to start with is the 6th seed UMass Amherst in the Midwest. UMass, they were the 6th seed in the Atlantic 10 tournament, and now they're a 6th seed in the NCAA tournament. How does that add up? The selection committee really didn't look at the full body of work for a lot of teams.
I agree. Louisville, yes, they did play a weak non-conference schedule, but
what 4 seed?
Yeah, they're.
I feel like they should have been a little bit higher.
They rolled through the American.
They were one of the most dominant teams going forward.
They rolled through the American tournament. They beat Rutgers by
dominant.
60. They beat Rutgers by 60. They deserved a one. Rutgers is not a bad team. It's not like a Stephen F. Austin, but that Stephen F. Austin is my sleeper team.
Yeah, but you guys saw Louisville play the past few weeks. They were just absolutely dominant. I feel
Russ.
like I expected at least a 2 seed.
Is
for
Russ
Louisville.
Dickulus back? Dropped 40 in one of those American games.
We'll talk about Louisville, but let's go to teams that might be upset picks. So I got a couple teams I'd like to point out. Harvard over Cincinnati. Harvard is a
Nope.
very solid team.
Harvard can't do it again.
Every single year they come in strong. But here's my real pick. Western Michigan over Syracuse.
Why is that, Salty?
The curse of Salty is real.
Would you like to give our listeners a little bit of insight on what the curse of Salty is as it relates to Syracuse basketball?
All right. Well, you see, I went to the first time I've ever been to a Division I men's college basketball game was at Syracuse with my friend Jonah Restuccio with season tickets.
Yes, that's me. I have season tickets. I brought Salty to the first game.
For our listeners who may not know, Jonah is a diehard Syracuse basketball. Syracuse basketball. Or
More basketball.
Diehard Syracuse basketball.
Yeah, I
fan.
just live for the
season
basketball.
tickets. He's had them for how long? How long have you had season
like
tickets
6, 7 years maybe.
for? He loves the orange. He loves the orange.
All right, back to the story. So I had never been to a college basketball game before, and I get to see my hometown boys, Boston College, playing Syracuse. The 7-19 Eagles upset from a double-digit second half deficit.
Yeah, we get it. Syracuse just went cold. Boston College
And
just win.
Syracuse has stunk ever since. Curse of Salty.
But do you guys think that this is actually going to Syracuse hasn't been playing to an elite level the past few weeks. I'm just curious because the NCAA tournament, it's so unpredictable. Anything can happen.
Listen.
Yeah.
They lost to an NC State team that just won the first 4 game, and they will be playing St. Louis. I think they can upset St. Louis. They lost. NC State beat Syracuse by 3 points with C.J. Fair going 3 for 16 from the field. If C.J. Fair hits 3 more of his shots and Cooney hits 1 more 3, which I believe Cooney will find his stroke, Syracuse will be unstoppable, and they will roll. They're rolling into my Final Four along with Arizona, Michigan State, and Louisville, and I have Michigan State win it all.
Well,
That's just my pick.
My sleeper team, I'll go through this really quick. St. Joe's, I feel like they've been overlooked going forward as a 10 seed winning the A10 tournament. I feel like they should have been ranked a little bit higher, but they're a very good team. They've been playing well over the past few weeks, going up against Connecticut, so they're my sleeper team. Final Four, though, coming out of the South, I have the Florida Gators. Going down to the East, Spartans, Michigan State. Midwest, I got the Duke Blue Devils, Coach K, great team. Now the West, I have the 9-seeded Oklahoma State.
Wow.
There we
so
go.
It should be interesting, and I have winning it, Michigan State, Spartans.
It's a good pick.
You know, I like your Oklahoma State pick. I like your Michigan State pick. But I got UCLA also in the Final Four. But going all the way, Jabari Parker, Coach K, and the Duke Blue Devils.
I like it, Salty. I like it. Now, this is going to be our little segment towards the end
Something
of
that
our
we'll
podcast.
Do in every show.
Yeah. This is Salty's top 3
fun facts of the day.
Yes.
Boom.
All right, at number 3, the record holder for most Oscar awards is Walt Disney with the outstanding number of 22. Still tied for last, Leo DiCaprio.
LOL.
At number 2, Robert Downey Jr., who, of course, in the popular movie series of Iron Man, plays Iron Man, was suspended in high school a day for ripping up a classmate's comic book and calling him a nerd.
Wait. What comic book was it?
You guessed it, Iron Man.
That's right.
All right, and
The
number
irony.
1, we look to the NCAA and their regulations. Student athletes are not allowed to get cream cheese, but they are allowed to receive bagels from their school. That makes no sense to me at all. Just give the players cream cheese, NCAA.
Just give
Let
them cream
have
cheese.
it.
Give them cream cheese. That was
Yeah.
Salty's top 3 of the day.
Yeah, he will be switching up. Sometimes fun facts, sometimes stats.
Keep
you
you
never know with
yeah,
Salty.
Keep you guys guessing.
But yes, this will be the end of our pilot podcast. Always a great thanks to our engineer, Pete, in the control room. Can't do it without him. But with Salty, Matt Rahemba, Jonah Stuccio, thank you for listening to Sports and Entertainment. Or is it Entertainment and Sports? I don't know. It's SE16. Thank you for listening.